What really lies beneath the school name changes? What's up, everybody? I'm Quisha King, and today we're going to be focusing on a more local issue. So here in Jacksonville, Florida, we recently had a school name change. Actually, we had 6 schools that were changed. These schools were named after either slave holders or Confederate soldiers, and the school board voted to change the names. So they opened up the voting process to the citizens, which is hilarious because literally like 3-year-olds were voting in this process. Also, alumni that had went to these schools who were out of town could not vote. They couldn't do a mail-in ballot. Go figure. Anyway, currently in our city, our students are really struggling. They promote graduation rate.
What I want to share is that when Westside High School changed its name in 2014, people may have thought that the school changed, that things went down for that high school. Prior to Westside changing its name, the average graduation rate was 62%. 62%. Not uncommon. Westside was not unique. But when Westside changed its name in 2014 to present day, the average graduation rate for Westside High School is a whopping 90%.
Oh, we've increased our graduation rates, and it sounds so good, and everybody claps, and you feel good, and it's just like, yes, kids are graduating. Only they can't read, they can't do math, the science, and the language arts scores are not good. But they keep touting those graduation rates. So I'm just like, who are we even graduating? But anyway, that's another topic for another day. What I want to talk about today is this idea of these school name changes and what's really underneath changing the names of schools and this whole movement, not just in Jacksonville, Florida, but the movement across America that is saying we need to tear down these statues, we need to change the name of the schools, we need to remove Aunt Jemima from the syrup bottles, okay? We need to even tear down statues of Jesus, says Shaun King, who is a prominent social justice movement agitator, whatever. What is really happening is not a move of justice. It's not a move of these historical people being removed from society because they never should have been placed there in the first place. That's not it. What's happening is a term called Cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism says that if you are in the elite class, if you are the bourgeoisie, if you are the majority of a society, and that means that you have all this control, you are the oppressor. And everybody else is the oppressed. A lovely man by the name of Antonio Gramsci came along and decided, you know what? This whole Marxism thing, and it kind of needs to go further because we're not seeing the type of revolution that we want to see. He decided that we need to focus on the hegemony. So the hegemony is the idea of the ruling class, okay? So that's still sort of associated with Marxism. So you have the ruling class, but in hegemony, everyone else is oppressed. So you know how like women are 50% or more than 50% of the population, but are still considered a minority? That's because they don't fit into the cultural hegemony, which is the ruling class, the white, male, straight guy, able-bodied, Christian, American-born. You don't fit into that, so therefore you can go into the minority category. So you have the oppressor and you have the oppressed. That is the real problem. That is the real root of what we're dealing with when we're taking down names and we're removing statues. These are large concepts that I'm talking about, but you can go look them up, and I'll put a few links in the description box below. If it was just about these bad people, why are you going after Abraham Lincoln? Why? Why would you go after Abraham Lincoln, who literally fought to end slavery in America? You're going after him because he's white and he's a man. That's just it. Another idea behind cultural Marxism is that we're not going to, rule with like a brute force anymore. We're not dropping bombs and grenades. We are changing society. We're galvanizing all these people. We're changing the way that we start a movement. So instead of, guns and swords and all that, we're gonna go after these people by propaganda through the media, corporations, by activist groups, galvanizing all these groups to get on our side, and we have one common enemy: the white man. What this is, first of all, as a believer in Christ, this is antithetical to the gospel. You cannot deem one group of people as racist or white supremacy just by their outward appearance. Every human being is made in the Imago Dei image. You are made in the image of God. I went to some of these school board meetings, and some of the meetings that they had at the schools, they were utterly disrespectful. I mean, you had black kids in there looking straight into the eyes of white folks and saying, well, yeah, you're 50 years old and you'll be dead soon. So really, you just need to shut up and listen to what we have to say because we're black, basically. And giving white people the finger, cursing at them. It was ugly. The city is really being torn apart by race. And this is how cultural Marxism works. This is what happens. You get all these groups together fighting against one common enemy, what they deem as an enemy. Here's the thing too. All of us fall short of the glory of God. All of us. Even you black folks, you're not morally infallible, okay? Like Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. We all have moral issues. The same thing that those white men did back in the day, you yourself are capable of. I know you don't believe it. I know you don't want to hear it, but you are. You know why? Because you have the same infection of sin that they had. You have it too. It's a human being thing. Sorry to tell you, you can't honestly believe in God and push these ideas because you remove the individuality of the person. You can't be an individual and be a Marxist. You have to fit into your group. You have to fit into your oppressed class. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. What do you think of cultural Marxism? What do you think of, tearing down statues? What do you think of renaming schools and all of these things? Do you think there is we hear a lot like, we have to have the difficult conversations. We talk about race all the doggone time. Quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I want to talk about the more deeper issues. I am not interested in rehashing race. I know racism exists. It will always exist because human beings are flawed. Now, do we have the racist type institutions that we had back in the day when America was being started? No, we don't. I am not going to sit up here and pretend that Jim Crow is today. I am not going to disrespect my ancestors and white people's ancestors who hung and died right next to black folks by trying to pretend like what is happening today, the few and far in between racism that we see today, is comparable to Jim Crow and slavery. I'm never going to do that. And quite frankly, it's disrespectful. You had kids at those meetings who were talking like today is the same as slavery days, that today is the same as Jim Crow. It's ridiculous. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys have a great day and be blessed. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, you, please hit the like button. Please subscribe and please share if you have found this content valuable. Thank you so much.